I believe everyone can hear me very clearly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I've been having some meetings since morning, and I'll be using the same account. So what happened is we're going to take a break, maybe after 40 minutes, they will log in again. All right. So Group A, Group B, and Group C, I believe everybody's representative is available as we go through this activity, which is checking the understanding of what we did yesterday. So as yesterday I was explaining, all you need to do is to select the media, okay, the format, the capacity is the question they're asking. What's the format options and what's the capacity of the media? So for the CD Group A, what's the format? Okay. Now the description says what format is pre-recorded audio, software, or data. Then what's the right ones, or what's the right many, and what's the pre-recorded video, software, or data. So it's 3 questions actually. So Group A, we're answering the CD one. Group B is answering the DVD. Then Group C is answering the DD. Now, when you don't do your own, somebody else will take your bonus. So Group A.
Group A. RAW. Pre-recorded audio, software, or data. RAW.
Wrong. So we're putting wrong first, right?
Yes. Not correct.
Okay. The second one.
R. Right ones.
R. Yeah, R.
I didn't get that. R.
Right ones.
R, yes, right ones.
Okay.
R.
Okay.
And
RW.
RW.
RW, right bin.
Yes. Right. The capacity is
700
megabyte.
700 MB. 700 MB.
7 megabytes, yes.
Correct. All right. So Group B. Group B.
Okay, so we have ROM.
Hello.
For the first one.
Okay.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you clearly. ROM.
We have ROM.
All right.
Yes, sir. Then we have a plus or minus R for the right ones.
Plus or minus R. All right.
Yes. Then for the right many, plus or minus RW.
Plus or minus RW.
Yes. Then the capacity is 4.7 gigabytes and single layer, then 8.5 gigabyte dual layer.
All right.
Yeah.
Correct. All right.
Yes, sir.
So Group C. Which represents Group C? Who is representing Group C? I can see Anayo there.
Anayo not in class. Anayo is in Group C.
I can see Anayo.
Yes.
Yes, I'm in Group C, but I wasn't available yesterday. I just logged in and I was busy somewhere. Sorry, I can't be able to make any attempt. I wasn't in class, so sorry.
So who is in Group C again?
We have John Esson, Esther, then Adeshoye Adegboye, but they've not been available for some time now.
Okay, so who is taking the bonus?
I'm available. I'm available.
Oh, John Esson is in class. Oh, okay.
All right. So what's the answer, please?
Bros, don't keep us waiting. If you don't have the answer, you say you don't have it so that people will take the bonus and we'll move on, please.
Why you say I will? The first one is wrong.
The first one is wrong.
Yes, sir. Then minus R.
Minus R. Okay.
Then RW.
What about the capacity?
So it's RE, that last one.
The last one is what?
Minus RE, the last one.
Okay. Minus RE.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the capacity?
That's 25. Yes, and the 50.
All right. So every one of you got the answer. Thank you. So we're moving into
Sorry, sir, please, just a quick one. Sorry, who is John Steven? I don't know, he's not in any group, so probably he's using another name.
John Steven.
Yes.
John Steven is supposed to be in this class.
In group C.
And
What do you say?
He's not in any group.
I'm in group C.
Group C. I have just 4 people in group C. So I have Anayo, John Essan, Adeshoye Adegboye, then Esther. Oh, probably used one of the other names.
Okay, I will check it later then.
Oh, okay, sir.
I'll check the other name. Let me check.
Okay, sir.
He said he's in group B or what? Group C.
He said he's
group
in
C.
C, but I don't have him as group C in my record.
He's not on group C. Okay, let me check. And he's not in group B too. John, you
Probably
have to...
wasn't around when. Probably it wasn't around when we picked the number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
But I
think that's simple. We check which of the group that is shortened one and add him there.
Add him
That's
there.
simple.
But I think I sent him a
Yeah.
link. Maybe he didn't see it. I sent him a link. John, check your link. I sent you a link some time ago. All right, let's move on so we don't waste much time to this class. We're actually talking about the video ports and cables. Now, we've talked about other components, which I really want us to look at. We've talked about, let me just reveal this. You can all see my screen, right?
Sure.
Yeah, we've talked about case and power supply. We've talked about motherboard. We've talked about CPU and cooling system. We've talked about memory, we talk about adapter cards, we talk about hard drive. So we're moving, we've talked about optical storage devices. That's what we talked about yesterday. So we're covering ports and cables and adapters. Then we'll now talk about the input devices in general and the output devices, okay? So video ports and cables. Now, a video port connects a monitor cable to a computer. Video ports and monitor cables transfer analog signals, digital signals, or both computers, or both. Okay, so computers are digital devices that create digital signals. All right, so the digital signals are sent to the graphics card, where they are transmitted through a cable to a display. Now, looking at the diagrams, we're going to see different types of the cables. Now, these cables are also very important because when you create a communication between your monitor or your display unit, so sometimes it might be a TV, it might be a big screen, but when you connect, there are some cables that create that communication. So that's what we want to talk about, and the ports that is available for those display connections. So we want to see, so we're talking about the VGA and the cables now, or the video ports and the cables. So this is one. This is called a DVI connector. A DVI connector is usually white. Sometimes it's usually white, yeah, but sometimes you've seen it. I've seen the one that is not white, that has a different color. So a DVI connector is usually white and consists of as many as 24 pins, 3 rows of 8 pins, okay, for digital signals, up to 4 pins for analog signals, and a flat pin called a ground bar. That's the diagram you're seeing there. Okay, it's called a DVI. It's different from the normal VGA. Okay, some monitors come with it. Some monitors come. There are some monitors that already come with the cable. You just connect it to your PC. Why some you have to buy the cable separately and connect to both ends. Okay. So we have what we call a display port. Now, a lot of people make a mistake with this display port and HDMI. All right. So it looks similar, but it's different. Okay. So most laptops, you see them, most of the laptops have a display port and an HDMI. So they are two different. So there's a display port, there's an HDMI. So a display port is an interface technology that is designed to connect high-end graphics capable PCs and displays, as well as home theater equipment and displays. So you can see the way the mouth is different from HDMI. HDMI has a complete, how will I put it? I'm going to show you an HDMI now. There's a difference between the two. If you look at this one's edge, or let's use the internet. Let me bring it out on my internet so we'll see. Okay, so you can see this one, so it's clear. Okay, you can see the mouth clearly now. So this is a display. Can you see the mouth? Okay, so that is a display port interface. That is how it looks like. And this is an HDMI, because HDMI is the next one we're going to look into. So let me just show you. The reason I'm bringing it here so it can be more clearer. HDMI. Okay. So can you see the difference? Can we see the difference from HDMI? So the other one has a different mouth. This one has a different mouth as well. Okay, so let's proceed. So this is the HDMI. HDMI, okay, was developed specifically for high definition televisions. However, its digital features also make it a good candidate for computers. Okay, so that's an HDMI. That's the female and that's the male. So then we have what we call Thunderbolt. Okay, Thunderbolt is another.
Yeah, hello. So, sorry, Mr. Shola.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, from what you just explained, that means HDMI has dual or multiple functions.
Dual. No, I didn't
They
get
could
that.
be used for either PCs and televisions and all of that.
Yeah, yes. Yes, HDMI, yes,
Oh.
we use it for laptops, we use it for televisions, we use it for even today's most of the time, when you buy a laptop, most laptop comes with HDMI. There's no more VGA. That's the latest laptop today. You will not see a VGA there. Because HDMI technology has been proven as the best graphic for now. So if you check all the decoders that is produced by DSTV, it comes with a HDMI because of
Are there different types of HDMI? Because I've seen some that are smaller, some that are bigger. Like the one on the DSTV looks smaller, but the ones that comes with televisions looks bigger. Would they be able to do the same function?
Yeah, they are the same function. They are the same function. But what you make the difference is the port. Okay, like there are some that comes with this mount, this display port. Okay, there are some, TV that comes with this display port. But when you see a HDMI is always on a V shape like this. So they can be bigger, they can be smaller, but they are still HDMI. Okay.
Same pin, whether big or small, same pin.
Yes, it's the same thing. It is the mouth you used to know. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have the Thunderbolt. So a Thunderbolt allows for high-speed connection of peripherals such as hard drives, RAID arrays, network interfaces, and it can transmit high-definition video using the DisplayPort protocol. So when you buy hard drive, external hard drives, there's always this cable that is attached with your external hard drives. Okay, it's called Thunderbolt. Okay, so another devices that use this Thunderbolt is cameras. Some good quality cameras. If you want to communicate between the camera and the laptop, you use a Thunderbolt. Okay, so that's for Thunderbolt 1 and Thunderbolt 2. They look the same. Thunderbolt 1 and Thunderbolt 2 looks the same. But for Thunderbolt 3 is a different connection. So Thunderbolt 3 uses the same connector as USB-C. Okay, it has twice the bandwidth of Thunderbolt 2, uses less power, and can provide 2 4K monitors with video. So you always use this in camera. You see, you actually find it if you are transmitting from camera to your laptop, camera to the TV. That is when you see this connector. Okay, so some computers come with it. Some I think Apple. If you see some Apple, there are some devices that come with it. You see that the connector mount is like this. Okay. Let me look at Thunderbolt 3. Let's see the display, how big it's going to be. Okay, good. So you can clearly see. This is a Thunderbolt 3. Okay, can you see the mount? This is the Thunderbolt 3. Okay, this is how the port looks like. So there are some phones. I think some Samsung phone use Thunderbolt 3 as well, but not all. So that's the mount of a Thunderbolt 3. That's it.
Okay. So the Thunderbolt 3, is it the normal USB charger Type C that we know?
No, I think it's Type C. I think it should be Type C, right?
It's Type C.
Yeah,
so
Type C
it's
charger.
different. Yeah, it's always like.
Is it the Type C charger?
Yeah, they call it USB-C.
Type C cable.
They call it USB-C.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So you can actually use it also. Some cameras have it too. Okay. Some camera has it as well. So it allows a communication between TV. Like the latest, if you have the latest one now, you see that you can connect your TV directly to your phone and it will display just using this cable.
Yeah, true. I think I've tried that before.
All right. Okay, just a minute, please. So we have the VGA. Give me a minute, just want to make. All right. Okay, so we have the video graphics array. This is a connector for analog video. It has 3 rows and 15 pins. It is also sometimes referred to as the DE15 or HD15 connector. This is the popular VGA that we all know, okay? So that's how it looks like. It has black, it has different colors. It has white as well. So it doesn't have to be blue. So we have what we call the RCA. Now the RCA sends signals too as well. So a RCA connector have a central plug with a ring around it and are used to carry audio or video. RCA connectors are often found in groups of 3, where a yellow connector carries video and a pair of red and white connectors carries left and right audio channels. You can find this one in cameras, you can find this one in your DVD, you know.
I think this one is very popular.
Yeah, it's very popular. So those are the ports, cables, and adapters that we have. Okay, under PC component. So we'll move to the other ports. Okay, now, so we want to talk about other ports now, which we have. We call them inputs and output ports. Okay, they are called I and O, input and output. So I and O ports on a computer connect peripherals devices such as printers, scanners, and portable drives. In addition to the ports and interface previously discussed, a computer may also have other ports. So we're going to be looking at each of them now. So we have the PS2. This one is actually very old. So, but some people's keyboards still use it, and some systems. But mostly systems don't come with this port. It's called the Personal System 2, PS2. They call it Personal System 2. A PS2 port connects a keyboard or a mouse to a computer. The PS2 port is a 6-pin mini DIN female connector. The connectors for the keyboard and mouse are often colored differently. If the ports are not color coded, look for a small figure of a mouse or keyboard next to each port. Like I said, you hardly find it in the market of today because everybody just uses USB. But in case you are called to fix a computer somewhere and the person is still using old system, you'll find this mount here. The green one actually connects to the keyboard, while the blue one connects to the mouse. All right, so let's look at another port. There's an audio port, audio and game port. Audio port connects audio devices to the computer. Analog ports typically include a line in, okay? So we have a line in port to connect to an external source, e.g. your stereo system. If you want to connect your speaker to your system, because most times when you assemble a system, it doesn't come with speaker. So you have to buy an external speaker to connect. When you're connecting the external speaker, this is the port you use, okay? It's called audio and game port, okay? So a microphone port and a 9-out port to connect speakers or headphones. The game port connects to a joystick or MIDI interface device. Now, this game port, you can only find it in the old gamepad. That's if you have a old gamepad, you can connect this port to the gamepad. But most of the pad that comes with a USB. Okay, so the functions of this are still there in most systems. You still find it there, but like I said, it's actually obsolete. People hardly use it. Then we have what we call the network. So a network port, also known as RJ45. This is very important. You must take note of this because as a technical person, these are the terms they use. RJ45 is the connector that we can see here. This is the mount here. It's called RJ45, or it's called HP8C port, as 8 pins and connects devices to a network. So this connection speed depends on the type of network port. The maximum length of the Ethernet network cable is 100 meters. That's the length, the standard length. That's when you buy the big, there's a way they buy the network. If you want to network, they're trying to tell us that the maximum length you can have is 100 meters, and they don't join it. It's not a network to join. If you have to join it, that means you have to buy a connector, okay, which we have an interface, 2 females together. So you can connect and they will bridge when you connect. So when you get to networking, you can do all those ones. That's where you get into more of the details. So that's a network port. Okay, then we have the SATA cable. We have the SATA cable. Okay, so a SATA cable connects a serial AT attachment devices to the SATA interface using a 7-pin data cable. So SATA connectors have an L-shaped slot. Okay, an L-shaped slot. So the cable only fits in one orientation. So this cable does not supply any power to the SATA device. A separate power cable provides power to that one. We've talked about it when we're doing the first power cable, the power cables you have. But this one is just data, and this is how it looks. So I'm going to go through so you can see the length of it fully on the internet. So let's look at it, a SATA cable. Okay, good. So let's see the way it looks. So this is a SATA cable, okay? And okay, let me see if I can bring the ports. Let's see. I want to show you that L shape they mentioned. Okay. This is it, but I don't know if you're going to see clear. This is the L shape. See, okay. This is the shape. All right, this is good. Now, this is how it looks like. This is the SATA cable. This is the mouth. Okay, this is mouth. This is where it's connected to. Can you see the screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
So this is the SATA. That's the L shape. So when you are fixing it, you can't make mistake because the mouth is connected directly to it. Okay, so it's not like you make a mistake. You can see the L shape up. So you just fit it into the L shape. So it's not like you're making a mistake of connecting, but you don't know how to connect it when you're connecting. Okay, so that is showing clearer here now. So that's the L shape. Okay, that's the L shape. All right. Okay, good. So let's go back. Then we have what we call the IDE. So the IDE cable, we hardly use it, like I told you, is the old, they don't use it anymore. But it's called an ID cable. It's a ribbon cable used to connect storage drives inside the computer. The two most common types of IDE ribbon cables are the 34-pin and the 40-pin. And they are used for hard drives and optical drives.